So I figured I'd show some work and actually talk and um, yeah, just share what I've got going on in this brain. Let's see if there's any Riemanns in this. Okay, don't think there is. We're gonna go to mathematicians. So I drop him here. I don't like having the Wikipedia at the bottom. I just want it to be one uniform thought. I assign his birth here. The birth's it's tied, so that's the actual day and time. I've created this, I don't know, some time ago. Let's find out. This was created on June 10th, 2024, this specific thought, and I have tons of other ones, obviously. Let me go by sort thoughts by name, then they'll go in order. Except I got to fix the BC issue, but once you get past just a few, I think I only go back to 44 BC on the years. All this is mostly AD stuff. You can click any day and it'll be, that day, September 17th. And above that would be your months, all of September, have them in order as well. So if you want to, if you're teaching a kid or something, August, July, June, you can go through every single day just like this. Another thing I do a lot, so like if I drag his name over here, let's see, navigate to attachment, super easy to just, you know, if you were working on something like I just was and wanted to talk about something or show something, that's how you do it. Delete that. I really need to fix my script here. Anyway, so I used a tamper monkey to create a script that will copy any Wikipedia article and it does it in plain format basically and no hyperlinks. And yeah, I also have a download made image. Let's see how big it is. It might be too big. Sometimes it goes too big, but I got to fix a few things within the code itself. Kind of vibe coded it. I knew enough about coding to get me to where that is, so it was fine. It works fine. Breslins, I'm not going to put that right now. That's a lot of extra stuff. University of Berlin, though, I think I do have that. Um, there we go. I had to fix my mic. Okay, so let's see if it has anything about his family. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put Riemann. So, all right, just make sure I'm getting that correct. Yeah, that's the Riemann family. I do not believe I have a Riemann family. I was just checking a second ago. Yeah, nothing there. Go families. So now, like, you can click on this is a list of families, and I need to actually fix these. So most of these eventually are going to all be tags. And this you can kind of see there's a difference in the shape here. It's rounded at that corner, rounded at that corner, then squared off here, 90-degree angles. You go further, and this is all kind of rounded, and less rounded than this, but rounded with no full actual 90-degree angles. And that's because I haven't turned these into tags. It takes a while to do that. Well, it used to. Let's see how fast I can do this. So Netherlands. I should actually put this off to the side of the Agnelli family so I don't miss. Yeah, that was probably something I did a while back ago. Let's see how far back I did this. Yeah, this is May 12th, 2024 when I did this. I still a little bit less structure then. In the last 2 years, I've developed a ton of structure within this to really connect everything. So yeah, like families, family trees. I can click on family trees and I've got like charts of family trees from the subreddit of the, what is it, useful charts guy. I've downloaded the fullest images and eventually I'll add all this in here as thoughts as well, but at least I have the images for now and they're really nice. Someone took a lot of time and put them together. Yeah, so the useful charts subreddit. I've got a ton of those. U.S. ages of presidents during their terms of office. American royal family trees again. Ancient Egyptian pharaoh. Arab royal and tribal Ayatollah. Capetian dynasty. Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, I can just scroll, and that's all in obviously alphabetical order. I did these years ago too. Let's see when this was. We'll go. This is June 1st, 2024. So these are only 2 years ago for these. Some of this stuff is like 3 or 4 years old in here, but it's less, it's more scattered. And I don't know, maybe I think yeah, it should save the date. I did redo everything in this tree sometime around like yeah May or June of 2024, so it might be picking that up as well. I'm not sure, but I've definitely been working on this for a few years now, and this is curating like and it's like 20 something years of data. I'm a nerd. I like sharing this stuff and working on it and putting this together as a lifelong project now. I can already tell. It's going to be cool though. As I go along, it'll have more and more information. So let's see. His father. Go back to this. Friedrich Bernhard Riemann. He's a Lutheran pastor, and then his mother Charlotte. To do a split, you just do a little semicolon here. There we go. She's a female. He's a male. They were spouse. I don't know if they got divorced. I do have that as an option in here, but usually I assume these older families just that there's no divorce. It's a safe assumption. Later, once I add more on their person and their family and all that, um, I'll find out the real information. But the good assumption is that at some point they were spouses and they had children because it's listed. And we'll go Riemann family. Actually, the easier way to do it for this is just to drag that Riemann family. So now this is here, parent and child. We can assume they were probably Germans, but we'll go Lutherans. I should probably just put ministers because it is, we'll go and add pastors as an option underneath this. Lutheran pastors. Lutheran. We'll actually put it under here. Okay. So this, let's make sure he's nothing else. German mathematicians. I was working on this stuff earlier, so I just felt it was important. Um, this, we could keep going on that. So that's a crazy name. Definitely Jewish. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, physicist Carl Wolfgang Benjamin Goldschmidt. So we'll go to the Goldschmidt family. I think I do have them. Yeah. And then let's verify I don't have him. Carl Goldschmidt. Just search him specifically. Schmidt, right? No. Yeah, we don't have him. We're gonna drag that here. Males. Carl WB. And it's a space, okay. And then we'll flip it. There we go. And now we have his full name there, his abbreviated name that was probably his preferred name, I'm assuming. Okay, copy this, put this birthday in there. Yeah, the birthdays are getting crazy. There's just so many birthdays I've added over the years, which I know that's not like a big deal, but it is interesting to see when you go through when people were born and who was born around what time as someone else. Um, there we go. Astronomers, mathematicians. I don't know if I already put that, but I'll do it again if I haven't. Physicists, lineage. We'll say he's got some Jewish lineage. He's a Jew himself. And the reason that's a safe assumption is the time period. In modern time, you see more people who have no Jewish lineage but are Jewish. Um, but back then, it's a safe assumption again. So that's why I kind of assumed that right off the bat. And I can check in a second if his mother is Jewish, then that would make him of the Jewish lineage. And I try to follow, like Orthodox rules on that. So that's why I give it two different titles. And Catholics kind of get a similar treatment because they care about the lineage, and that if that's important to them, then it's important to me. He's a student of Carl Friedrich Gauss. Let me see if I have him in here. Okay, I do. I thought I did. We'll go student here. Gauss family, and I'll do that in a second. I'll work on him in a second. This is kind of how I go through. It's a little bit like ADHD. But once you get this in here and later, some other times, obviously I'm not going to study on video right now. Maybe I'll make videos breaking down later or like a little podcast idea. But for now, this I like to show how the work goes on here to, let you guys see. Why is this not working for the search? There we go. Let's see if we have an image that we can find of this guy. It's Theodore Goldschmidt. Hmm. Carl, we're gonna type in his full name here and see picture. That's not him. That's literally the guy I was just working on. That's hilarious. That's this guy, Bernard Riemann. Yeah, and so this is why I'm building what I'm building. Um, it just it gets so frustrating because you'll search on Google and it makes it seem like, to the average person, you type in something, you're going to find the correct answer. And if you would see this without knowing that, obviously, and I could have done it, I could have been like, oh, that's him for sure, because that's an old picture of a guy right there. But I literally just worked on this by chance, and you guys saw that, witnessed it on video. Uh, that's something that you see all of the time, and that's why I'm spending this time doing what I'm doing. I'm making physical connections between things. If there is a picture out there of him, which we could probably find it, I'm going to do this right now. We're going to go back to him. And I do pay for an ancestry thing just because it's, it just makes more sense for me because of the work I'm doing to have something like this. So let's get this loaded. I'm going to go to home. I really have nothing to hide. I'm not worried about anyone seeing my name or anything like that. And his birth year, 1807. Yeah, so this is him here. Let's see if we have a picture. We'll see if there's anything on GenieNet. Yeah, unfortunately, no pictures of this guy. Would have been cool to see, and sometimes you can't. It's just that sometimes you're not going to find them. Unfortunately, there will never be anything really here unless I choose something specifically for this guy. But I do try to give everyone's picture in here. I try to get obviously their sex, or if they're modern times and they don't have a, I don't know. There's like whatever 70 different things. I have a bunch of those in here. So if I don't really care, I'm not. This isn't me going like off of anything technical. This is more like colloquial beliefs and terms, and because this started as a conspiracy mind map, it's turned into something way bigger than that. Uh, but I do have his family here: George Adam Goldschmidt, and then Rebecca Bauer. Whoa, whoa, Bauer. I know I don't have them in here. They're kind of, I know it sounds bad, but they're nobodies in the terms of like Wikipedia. You can see how many Bowers I already have in here, but I do not have a Bauer family. I knew that because again, I've been mostly working on this alone. My wife does help me from time to time with some little things, especially like personal things from our for our family and whatnot. Um, she also helped me, probably 10% of the days that were added in here were added by her, and that was about 700,000 different thoughts that had to be added for that to be um, kind of like made the way it was, the way what I did. So we'll say, oh, that's, I'm not going to assume that he was Jewish, but that probably is a Jewish last name too. I was trying to get his father here, and we can assume the mother because of the time, um, and I'll verify on that. But you know, it says he was Jewish on the Wikipedia article. There's like some safe assumptions you can make, and obviously you can be wrong. This whole thing isn't set in stone. This is something I'm going to work on, and this is more of it's a research tool, maybe a little bit of a sociology research tool. I don't know, but it is interesting whenever you go through and you start seeing all the patterns of things. Uh, that's the reason I made it, is because I want to see where we're being lied to, what's being censored, and with this you really do. You see everything. So we'll make him a male. and Jewish. Mm, there we go. We'll keep going here. That's basically all I can get of him, right? So yeah, so was in turn a professor of Gauss's protege. So I could say he's another student. So Bernard Riemann was also a student of this guy. So what we're gonna do, I like to draw these little things. Maybe sometime I'll do it off to the side, but I don't have enough of the family in here. They may have not had a big family at all. Sometimes it's okay to just attach them top to bottom, and I've just put student instead of like, parent and child. And it is an elevated position between one and another. I have mentorships. Trying to think what else. I have a rabbi thing. Like if there's someone is your rabbi, they would be above you in this tree. I know that sounds weird, but that's how it works. So we'll go ahead and mark him as deceased, which is right there. I try to be respectful about that too, but I do need an easy way to write it. So I'll show you in just a second. It says deceased people, but if you click on it, it also says dead people. And so it's easier to type just dead, and you can scroll down, usually find it quickly, but dead P, it will find that. Or people, maybe not. It used to on the other version 14, but version 15 has some weird quirks still. They're working them out. This is the beta version um, for this program that I'm using. Obviously, the creation within it is something I've built, but uh, there is a frame, like a software that has to be used to build all of this in, and they've given me an opportunity to do that. That's why I started using them. I had a huge 72 terabyte. I still do. It's on my computer here. Actually, I'll just show. There's 72 terabytes here, and yeah, I needed somewhere to store this information and a way to connect it all and make more sense rather than just using a file explorer. So I think more people should be doing this. I hope people do, but if they don't, I'm going to do it myself until I die. That's just what's going to happen. Goldschmidt co-authored in German the textbook Lehrbuch der Analystischen Optik. Okay. J.C. Edward Schmidt. See, like I could put all these people in his life. So these people would be off to the side, and they would be, he'd be like an acquaintance or business partner, or which I do have those as options. And then, he's an author too. So we're gonna actually put that. So he did author a book, which would count, and that, I have a list of, let's see how many authors are in here. Which I mean, there's way more than this, but there's 2,966 people. These are usually some of the most detailed, I would say, out of the people right now. Not the most detailed technically, but consistently detailed, I would say yes, authors um, probably have the most. Yeah, because you can like see pictures and they're American and if who's deceased. Yeah, there's white people, South Asians, and this came from a website called Social Sentinel, and he had a database that I downloaded with all these Wikipedia names in it. These are all people from Wikipedia that were classified, whatever they were classified as in the article, it scraped it and assigned them a classification. And like this one, he has another unknown ethnicity, and that's for me to find out. But it made the job a little quicker in here. But for the most part, yeah, I would say that is the one thing. And then there was a small Shakespeare brain that when I first started, I was like, ooh, I want to build off of that. And I never really finished doing it, but I don't want to delete it because I like it. I like what the guy did. Points, yeah, he did like a little Shakespeare dictionary. Has like, I don't know, each one of these is probably, yeah, 200 words or so, which my dictionary is way bigger than that. You can see here. If I do it, it'd probably freeze my computer, but I'm going to try it. Let's see what it does. See how many A's there are. There's 2,469 words that are A words. It did crash it, but I'm gonna just reset it like this. Um, yeah, so that's kind of the way I'm doing this. So there's all the different words. I'll try not to have any of the like the S's or the EDs, plurals, and past forms of the words, if that makes sense. But some of these still do, like abilities shouldn't be in here, but it's because it's not connected to ability yet. And if I had done it and connected it already, then it wouldn't be. So now it's unlinked. You can see how ability is tied to potential. Without ability, you have no potential. And I don't mean like ability like talent, but that too. But ability just in general, the like agency to do something. Um, yeah, power is an agent. Yeah. And I should probably put like agency, but I'll figure out later. That's not something I'm due right now. But yeah, potential energy, potential difference in voltage. See, I don't know how to say that, and I don't like that it has this. That means at some point this most likely came from Wikipedia. I try not to have anything in parentheses that's not like, that Shakespeare thing. I'm doing that because I want each word, and I tie them to the words of the English variants, generally speaking, like that. Namesake is what I put here. And the reason this is like that is because I was using the Safaria, and I've added each of their values, and this has the Safaria icon until I update it more. So like I could go points here. I'll show you kind of how it works. Uh, Trying to find, I need oh, here's a better example. We'll just go point right there. And yeah, now it's got this thing instead of the Safaria icon. But there we go, points. The pose, I didn't know that was actually, I guess, like, yeah. But now that's in there, it has a separate little thing. If someone ever gets to that like points definition, they can click on it. And I could even expound on it later and go further. But yeah, these are Kabbalah terms. It says, the points. I probably could put like points and then in parentheses Kabbalah. But see, I don't like that. I want it to be, you type something, you'll find out what you're looking for. And as I go, if this thing fills up with, different links, then I'll add other categories. And that's kind of, I just do everything by necessity in here. That's why I say it's kind of like ADHD. But we'll go back to this, and we're going to go to his teacher. Often I have to go through here and click like that. Just close everything. I will go back to Ancestry. Let me go ancestry.com. I was watching some log home stuff earlier. And that'll eventually be in here too. I added it as under project. I'm very organized. I try to stay organized in everything I'm doing. Something I don't know, I think I learned it in the military, but I might have already had it. It's a little bit of OCD, I think, with like an ADHD. My wife says I might be autistic slightly, but I don't think it's much if I am because I understand emotions and feel like I'm socially adjusted. I don't know, maybe not. Germans, so we're gonna go German people, mathematicians, astronomers. Ooh, that is a new one I haven't seen. I'll look at that in a second. Physicist, geodesist. I have never heard that. That's so weird. I do have it in here, but I don't have the plural, which I like to have the plural of them. So let's see what this is. I have no idea what this is. The study. Specialized science monitors the Earth's size. So geodesy. We're going to put that in here. Area studies. Then right here. We'll copy that, add it. That's very nice. I like it. Learning something new right in front of y'all. That's too big. I don't like getting those giant icons. I like to get them a little smaller. So we're going to go 1,000 by. Yeah, that's better. And now it comes up like that. That's beautiful. Now that will stay the actual. So you can set this as a thought icon there. Boom. Forevermore, it'll be that geodesy. And then if I want, I could actually make this. I'll just show you. Where can I copy it? Copy icon. Go down here. Paste icon. I don't like that it's doing that. it really should not be doing that on version 14. Okay, so we're just going to go to that so I can show you how it should be doing what it's doing. It's definitely having errors. I'll post this and let them see it too. Let me close it. I'm going to open the other one. You can't run two at once because it's using the same registry slash file explorer folders to find what it's looking for. So it needs to have one at a time. But this is the version 14. Stand by. There we go. Last thing I was working on this was the UFC. So Carl Frederick. There we go. It's a little less. You can see it's a little less nice to look at. And I could delete some of these, but see at the on the other one, it's everything shrank. But I can still find things. I know where everything's at, and I'll fix this real quick and I'll switch back. So geodetic surveyor. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put that as well. Geodesy. Okay, I don't know why I didn't capitalize. Anyway, it's fine. Then we'll do this. Geodetic surveyors. Tie this to surveyor. And this to surveyors. You can kind of see how the words, they start, like, if I go to surveyor now, land surveyors, geodetic surveyors, coast and geodetic survey corps, and then surveyors. And then you can actually see there's people. Eventually, geodetic surveyors will be moved up here because it'll be its own category and it'll take preference or precedence over um, people. So any categories of things like that, geodetic surveyors will eventually be up there, and I could probably do it now, but I'm not going to do it. I'm still thinking of a proper way that I want to do it, and I want everything to be uniform, so I don't want to make any early decisions on that until I'm ready, um, on whatever day. And it's just kind of random. One day I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm going to go to my occupations and area studies. I'm going to turn all of those into, um, we'll say, tags, or maybe we'll turn them into, what's the other one? Thought types. That's what it's called. So you can see right clicking taking forever. This is a huge brain, so everything is very slow on the version 14, but everything works, even though that sounds weird. There's what's happening is the changes I'm making are being saved in here, so you can actually see, yeah, convert to type or tag. I could go type, and then it would take precedence over everyone else. It would just move it to the top of that list, and it would separate it. And eventually, that is the plan. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I just wanted to say that. That's what's going on. Okay. Anyway, took a long time to say it. List of geodesists. There we go. And we'll just go ahead and put that here. I really hate that on the German it's adding this I there. Doesn't matter though, it's fine. We're gonna download this. It's a little over a meg. I really try to keep it under, so that'll probably be right here, I would assume. Yeah, that's a lot under, but it's fine. This is him. I almost put it on the wrong guy. Okay, birth, mathematician. So I do have Gauss family. Osthoff. It seems like a Jewish name. Let me see if he's. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. I'm almost certain. I was gonna say the reason I'm checking that all of a sudden, it may seem weird. This wife, this Osthoff name, and Waldeck. Uh, I'm almost certain I've had Osthoffs in here. I'm gonna just check real quick. Yeah, I've had a few. Suzanne, Tom. Let's see, Waldeck. I've no one in here showing as Jewish. So what is he? Is he Catholic? That Osthoff name. There's something that's triggering in my brain that I'm trying to. It might be some Osthofenheimer or something. It's some weird thing like that. Uh, anyway, Christian Albert Jensen. That's funny. I have him in here. We can actually see him. Oh, I just have another painting by him. Did I spell it right? Okay, we're gonna go to artist real fast. I just want to add him in here since I thought I had him in here. I definitely have a painting by him in there. Um, I've seen this name a bunch. I don't know why it wasn't in here. Download main image. Wow, that's a huge image. We're gonna go off of this one. So yeah, that's the only issue. I am a little limited on space for right now, and there's no way, and this program just can't run it very well, those huge images as icons. So I just try not to do that. I try to give everything room. So it's a little snappy here now. You can see it's picking up. I think it's like it needs a warm up time or something. I don't know. But you can see it's moving faster now. It's not as laggy, but the right click is still laggy. Like I'll just show you. If I right click, I just right clicked. Let's see how long this takes. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. You can see it's trying to do something. And this might be some hardware limitations. There you go. So that was how long it took. But the computer is running. It's just there's millions of thoughts in here. So um, it's just something. It just happens that way. We'll say, is that all he's considered? A painter. Okay, we'll go ahead and add that. I messed up. It's fine. I'll fix it. Birth. Danish people. And I'll add the other stuff later. Okay. Because that I don't have this town. Yeah, I'd have to. I'm trying to be very organized also about this. So actually, I'll just show you. So like the states, if I go to well, I'll just go to further up. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to fix the search, but it finds everything. It's just sometimes it's not perfect on where it's putting it. But so here's U.S. states here. I'm going to switch to the other view so you can actually see this. Give me a second. I'm going to open it back up. We'll go back to him in a minute. But we'll go to states. Let's see how this one does. There we go. Third from the top. That's a lot better in the search. There's certain things that have been done to make the coding better on their end, and it helps my program here on this side. So I am going to increase this a little. Oh, it's because it's not snapped. I thought it was. Okay, so I'm just going to do this for now. List of the U.S. states. So I've got them all their exact color, their exact RGB code. If I click on Alabama, everything under Alabama has its color code and the flag, which I don't like that it's shrinking the flag and smashing it down like this, but it's just something you deal with. The ones that don't have the flag, it's because I added something else. There's the icon, so that's like Alabama counties. I wanted all those to be there, but if you click on counties, you see every single county in Alabama. And if I click on those, there's like, um, let's see, it does not have a note. This is showing it's lagging. Give it a second. Yeah, when you close out of the one old one and open the new one, it's like it's got to do a whole new thing. So there it goes. Go ahead and copy and paste that. This is the Autauga County or Autauga. I don't know. It's probably something like that. I would assume it's Autauga, but Autauga County. So now it's got a note in there about Autauga County. It is under there, but like Baldwin County does not have a note. You can see there's a note tag here that gets added. Baldwin, man, this is really taking some time. There we go. I also can do stuff like adding this seal, if I want, which I'll probably do that. I'll go ahead and do it right now so you can see how it looks. Let's see how fancy their seal is if they've got a good version of it. Is that the high version, the high quality version? We'll say Baldwin County. I'm gonna see if I can find a better version real quick. Baldwin County, Alabama. And the reason I am jumping around like this is because everything that I get done, it saves. So I mean, even if I'm being a little ADHD, it's gonna get saved. If I come back to it later, it'll be good. And actually, here's the founding of it. So we're gonna put that here. Founded. So we'll go add their baldwincounty.gov. Let's make sure that's the correct one. Yeah, yeah, okay, baldwincountyal.gov. Can we find, okay, I'm gonna go back and type in Baldwin County, Alabama seal. Looks a little better, but it's like I would need to replace that. I need to find, let's see here. I don't think that's good enough. That's not the official. I guarantee it's not the official. Commissioner's eye changes to Baldwin. So that looks a lot nicer. Let's see if I can get this. Open image. And because it's not so Adobe transparent background, I use this a lot. It's very nice. Transparent PNG. That's what we will do. Did I not download it? I thought I downloaded it. Baldwin County seal.png. Let's save it like that. Drag it here. And download. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's way better than the one they had. So I could update on Wikipedia, but you know, like look at that. It may not be the perfect colors. I don't know, maybe these people got their color wrong. But this looks a lot better, in my opinion. What is that NE plus ultra at the top? That's weird. Recreation, industry, seafood, agriculture. It says that's the official one. I don't know. But maybe it was at some point. It's named after Abraham Baldwin. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and add that too. See, is this the right guy? Okay, this is him. Okay, cool. I already had him in here. I just don't have his any of his information. So we'll say Baldwin family. I wonder if this is related to Alec Baldwin in any way. Probably, I bet. When you see the last names similar, it's usually because they are of the same family, um, especially in the United States. Actually, I said birth. What am I doing? We'll say namesake. That's what he's named. This thing was named after him. There's his birthday. This is what I've been kind of doing. So because yeah, this was added a long time ago. Let's see when it was first started. Yeah, um, November 18th, 2024. That's whenever this thought of Abraham Baldwin was added, and it's because I added it under the founding fathers of the United States, which I can actually copy this because even this little thing, I only built this probably like a year and a half ago. But that's, yeah, you can kind of see. I've been going through over the years, adding everyone's photos, especially like obviously presidents and stuff. But like, Benjamin Franklin. Anyway, we'll go back to Abraham Baldwin. Okay. American, we'll add all those little spots. Ministers. Why did that not go? Ministers. Patriots. Yeah, the big issue, whenever I finally do add, did I pass it already? Patriots. Or maybe I just, because I only don't have it yet. Yeah, that's what it seems like. So we're going to add Patriot, because I think we already had that. Yeah. We have I'll go patriotic because I saw that. Patriotism as well. I did see one more. That's why I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Because doing it now means I don't have to do it later, and it's more organized now rather than later. And these things have backlinks, which I'm not going to turn on. It does slow it down a little bit. But yeah, you can kind of see like founding father. If I send the backlink here, I can insert it. Where is it at? Oh, right there, right above this. Insert thought or web link. And basically, yeah, it'll send you back to that thought when you click on it. So it's kind of similar to Wikipedia, but everything is, self-contained within this program. You can also export it as a JSON. You can export it as file folders or text. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you could do with this. So it's not just contained here, but I like it contained here. So first president of the University of Georgia. What? So he was also a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Georgia, let's see if I can, do I not have it? Representative. Hmm. What is it? What do I have it as? I usually put like from. I want to see what I'm doing. I forgot how I was naming it. I haven't done it really in a while. Members of the U.S. House of Representatives. So that's what I'm putting. Members of the U.S. House of Representatives from. That's the easiest way. So I will eventually add like what number he was and where he was from and or like what he was representing. I mean, here we go. House of Representatives. There we go. That looks a little nicer. Where's my other one? I should have another section. Something's wrong here because I'm just gonna find out what's going on here real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go through here at some point because there's a whole section that's missing Virginia. Hmm. Because like yeah, even what I just typed in a minute ago, like where's Pennsylvania at? I'm just gonna go ahead and type that again. So House or members. We'll click here. Member. Oh, that was right there. But where are the? I have like other ones, or is it all like senators maybe? Like I remember doing one from like Minnesota or something. We'll say Michigan. I want to just see how I was doing it. Sorry. Did something get deleted? What's going on here? There we go. This is what I was looking for. United States representative. So instead of member. Okay. How should I do that? I'm gonna go drag that here. All right, that's good enough. I'll fix all that later. But now it's at least in the right section. I don't know why I could not find it earlier. Okay. United States House. I'm just trying to make sure. Members of the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm gonna put this to that, so later when I do fix it, I can be like, oh, this is where it needs to be fixed between these two. Um, so yeah, you got to see me think it out. That's that. I have to do a lot of that. Like it's just kind of slight problem solving and eventual. Like I just kicked the can down the road a little bit there, but I'm not going to do all that on video because it's going to take a long time. Um, so that's what we're going to do. First president of the University of Georgia. And we're going to go presidents of the University of Georgia. There we go. And then we're going to go just president. Hmm. Actually, don't know if I like that. So I think I'm just going to type. I think I haven't been doing it this way. So I'm going to go, I think it's university. presidents. Let's see if that's, I may not have a full section like that yet. I have a bunch of different presidents of universities, but so, and then we'll type a singular. I think I like this better. We'll go presidents here. And there are faster ways. Let me see if I can figure it out in a second to make thoughts. I like to drag them. That's just, but although that I could do it faster. So we'll see. Is it Alt or Alt Control? Yeah, it's Alt Control up. That's how you would do that, or Alt Control left or Alt Control down. So university president. So I can go university. I do have the singular word, although I need to make it its own category because otherwise I got to scroll down like this for some reason. Even though it has more connections. University. Why is it not here? My lord. So, okay, it is time to make university a, let's see, make sure there's nothing. I feel like I have to make university. Why is it doing this? I'm hitting F4 and it's like not finding what I'm looking for. F4 is the search function within here. There's so many little issues I find with version 15, but it's fine. Should I do this? I feel like I should if I just type in university. And I don't like that private university was off to the side there. I'd rather just be under here. So what I'm going to do is leave that alone and we're going to put parent or whatever, just because it's private universities under that and it makes more sense. So let's see if this actually works. Change thought kind. Ooh, I have not seen this. This is new. I hit OK already. I've already hit it. Let's see if my computer locks up. Oh, super unfortunate. We're just going to wait. Hmm. I did not know that's what alma mater meant. Phrase associated with the University of Bologna. Oh, the Bologna. Bologna, Italy. Bologna. I think that's actually the correct way. Bologna. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna hit OK once again. Let's just see. Yeah, it definitely it's like locked up. No. I don't know. Like I could close it, but see, even if I hit cancel, nothing happens. So I always have to go to version 14. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Switch it from there, close that, switch it back. Failed to initialize indexing processes because it's still running in the background. Let's pull it up. The brain 15 in task. There we go. It was trying, it's probably still trying in the background, but it takes I've left it up, went to sleep, came back, and it still would be left on that. So it's like it legitimately freezes there. Um, and that's just part of the issues I'm dealing with. And I don't know if it's everyone's brains, but it is mine. Research University, we're just going to make it to University this way because it's, again, hard to find because of the searching issue. So, but when I change this from here on out, anytime I type university, it should be right at the top. We'll see though. Eventually, this is going to happen with most of the big thoughts or big categories in my brain, but it takes obviously time. You can see each one of these just clicking it takes 20 seconds, and I just with an ADHD mind, I'm like, I can do it later, and I do it a lot. It's just only when I feel like it, I guess. It's just how everything in my brain works, and that's okay. My actual brain, I mean, not this brain here. Graduation ceremony. Interesting. I definitely want to add this stuff about alma mater. That's why I'm trying to get this university thing here done. I will tie alma mater to university now because I see this here on the Wikipedia page. They thought it was important enough to tie into the main image, so I think it is as well for me. Alma mater. Hmm. I thought I had this already. I'm gonna wait. We're gonna switch over to version 15, and I'm just gonna verify that I don't have alma mater. I thought I did. I definitely have alumni, like but maybe I'll tie alma mater to alumni too. Oh lordy, I'm gonna have to hit. Okay, just a second. See, this is a similar issue. If I haven't typed alumni to attach it, it's like MIT. There it is. See, alumni needs to also be, and that's the issue I'm facing. It needs to be a type because it's so prevalent um, that you need it. So what we'll do is alumni, we're going to tie it to university. We're going to tie alma mater also. Alma mater. I'm pretty sure that's Latin, but there's also pater was just the Indo-European father and mater was mother. So I mean, uh, I wonder how far what this is, but we're going to go ahead and say it's a Latin phrase, right? And then what it would be considered. Yeah. Okay. Go here. So this John Leggett's, let's see if I have him. So we'll say he coined it. He's an English printer. English people, males. That's what I'll leave him for now. We'll fix that in a second. So alma mater, alme matres. So we're going to put that as the plural underneath. I like to do that. Allegorical Latin phrase. Hmm. Yeah, nourishing mother. Who, who's that tied to? Mary. So yeah, that's who I was thinking. Sibylle or Ceres. Okay, so we're gonna tie that to them as well here. There we go. We're gonna say association with all of these, and then John Leggett will give him a coining of this phrase, which I do have that as a link type. And I can see that I need to attach all these other ones to each other. So are these Sibylle? They are. I forget if they're actually related or tied together because I could tie them together. But for sure, what we're going to do is tie them to this. Alumni and university get tied together. We'll go ahead and put association between that as well. He coined the phrase alma mater as far as we know because of his book here. Little things like that. I feel like that's the best way to do it. So we're going to go here to John Leggett. Leggett was admitted and sworn freeman of the Stationers' Company. So we're going to go ahead and put deceased on the book by William Perkins. Let's see if we have him in here. I do have a book on him, which I've got like 30,000 books in here. So we're just going to put book here. We're going to tie him off to this. William Perkins, male, influential English cleric, English people, clerics. Let's see, clergymen, Anything that I can give him something assigned name, theologians. And then what else was it? Oh, and he's an author, right? Yeah, which I can just add that here. Perfecto. Download main image. Turn this off here. It's too big. Didn't expect it to be that big again. I need to fix the download. And set it to where it's like under 500 or something. 500 kilobytes. So Christ College, Cambridge. I think I do have that one. We're gonna go ahead and tie him to it, but I gotta actually put alumni. I thought I had alumni here. Pretty sure, isn't that? Yeah, there's a comma there. Cambridge alumni. We're gonna do this here. Unlink him here. There we go. Beautiful. We'll say inspiration. I don't want to do that. So we'll do books on William Perkins. Drag that under here. Unlink this as well. And so I'll put inspiration on this one. I'll just write that here, just so that's the inspiration, or we could say reference or biography. Actually, biography probably works better because I do have biography here. And that's also what we're going to do biographies, because that's a book category I have. You can actually see it's probably small right now, but there is a book category. I'm assuming I meant to download these at some point. It's just not been done. And this really should be succession. Okay. But yeah, I have book, we'll say, or book types. It's really a book type, right? Hmm. That's probably what I should do is tie these together. That's what's going on here. Biography books and biographies seem to be, there we go. There's some books on Hitler. These are like the mainstream types of books on him. But you can see it's like good quality. And I've got, thousands and thousands of books in here. I just haven't connected them all to their little categories. But I typed in Hitler one day and these were all here. And I was like, well, I got a bunch of books on him. I'm going to go ahead and attach them all to a section. Looks like that's what I did at some point. Let's see what day this was. Sometime last year in April, 4/26. But I was going to show you. So yeah, book categories. And I guess I should unlink. Yeah, we're going to unlink that. And this doesn't have anything else connected. Okay. These at least can have, I should probably just leave them together. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to tie all this together. I just don't like that being split. Doesn't make any sense. So biography book. Yeah, that makes it feel a little better. Okay. And if I want, I'll just go ahead and do this too. Normally, if I want, I just type this stuff in here. Architect of Puritanism, and then edited by these two guys, which I don't believe I have either one in my brain. We'll go ahead and add them up here, just so you can see how I kind of organize my books. Both males, Salazar family. And I actually only just recently started doing this. Did I spell his name right? No, I didn't. the other way later. I'm pretty sure I've seen that other spelling, so that's why I was thinking it was that. Uh, so we'll say or we'll say editor. That's what we'll give him for this for now. Then beak, families, editors. Give him that editor sign there. And usually I will finish it with, let's see, it was written 2019. Oopsie. I also do have a GPT thing I use to just do this for me, so I don't have to do it all, but I'm just showing you how it looks. I used to do all of this, obviously by hand, this naming scheme that I've come up with, so what I do is, title, subtitle, author or editor. These are both editors in this case, so that's what they get, obviously with the semicolon that splits them, because I'm trying to make everything quick, as far as and efficient with the typing. So I don't want a bunch of other stuff. I'd rather have like, just this to indicate, there's a space here. This is the published, year or the copyright year, whatever they're showing on that page. Um, and if I want, I could add like a book summary here, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I do that for some books, and especially like really, I would say super important books. I've been doing that for just a big book summary so you can quickly see what it's about. But this one, it's a short book. You can just look at it and kind of understand, oh, it's about this guy. So I'm not gonna have to go through and do all that. Let's see, books on William Perkins. We'll go back to him. Did I not? I didn't get his Wikipedia article here. That's interesting. Thought I did. But we do have his Christ College, Cambridge alumni. What? Is this person gay? Or is that a female's name in some weird way? Perkins was born to Thomas and Anna Perkins. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Perkins family. I knew a Perkins growing up as a child. Perkins family. Thomas Perkins. And his mom doesn't get to be under the family because she would have had a maiden name later. If I want to find out what her maiden name was, I can do that. But for now, she's going to get just nothing above her, which I don't necessarily like, but it does give me, because there's ways you can sort, and I could sort by something without a parent, and it would find her. Finds anyone without a parent if you want. Or orphan thoughts, which I have a few orphan thoughts that have nothing around them, basically. They're not attached in here, and those are the people that I got from that database that I was referencing earlier. There's a few of those. So the art of prophesying. This has got to be a female, right? Like I don't think, yeah, it is a female. So Craddock family. They'd see some modern spelling of that name too just now, but I'll attach them. Should I just do it now? Let's see. Yeah, that for sure is it. We're gonna go ahead and do an association here. We could put, yeah, we'll just put family because they're gonna be family. It's gonna be one letter difference for sure. It's that. I don't even really, I could verify that, but some things, and that's what I'm doing. Some things are just easy to know, and that would be one for sure. Craddock, and then Craddock with an E, and both being English names, they're going to be very related. Um, so what we will do also for her is we'll just drag that little genie.net article since I was there anyway. It's just nice to have the article to be able to click into. You'd be like, okay, someone else has done a little research on her too. That's the whole point of this project is to curate, research and put it all together. That's, what's important and what's not. And like I was showing you earlier, Google does a pretty bad job at it. Even all the Chat GPT stuff, what is it, Grok, Anthropic, all that, they're not perfect either. So I'm trying to do something that is different and probably looks crazy to some people, but I've got a ton of information in here. We can actually go, so we'll go to my books section. This is like one of the more impressive parts of it. So we'll go to like B titles. Let's see if it freezes. Okay, so in this section I have 1,358 books with the B section. Um, but like, I can click on it, beyond medieval Europe. Like, uh, these are the quality assured books. So any of these that have the quality assured symbol, the little stamp, it's what I've called it, like a little stamp. Uh, these are the ones I've checked personally that have they're the best version basically of the book that you could find digitally, if that makes sense. Like these are all clickable. You can click on to all this stuff to get back. You can go to the introduction. It's clickable links and stuff within here. Things like that, as well as like it must have a cover page. It can't be photo. I don't accept for like the quality assurance. I won't accept anything that's like a photo copy of a book. I want the small file sizes. So brief history. So yeah, I've got a ton. This is just all the quality assured ones. There's all the Harry Potter books my wife's a fan of, and we own them all. Um, but yeah, like if I click on that, that's the best version of this book that I could find online. And I could actually fix this and make it better. Like I'll show you. So Wondershare, I paid for this program. It's like $100 or something. I don't know, somewhere around there. I could go into here. No, stop showing me that. Let's go to scroll down. I'll just increase this size real quick. Okay, so this was me. I was the one that did this. So I just didn't finish what I had started, I think. Yeah, it appears to be. So yeah, go to page. It's 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 acting very weird. It's like they're already done. Let's go to this. Okay, so we'll go home. Let's scroll back up and see what page this is on. This is page 9, it says. Okay. It's doing something weird up here. That's page 1, I'm assuming, and then 2, 3, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so page 9, if I go here, we're going to create a link to page 9. Let's see, I don't like that it's not giving me the option to. What page was this again? Page 24. There we go. So yeah, that's how I would do it there. I'm not going to finish all this right now. It's a lot. Um, but you can click between them. That's kind of what I want for these things that I would consider quality assured. And so that technically Harry Potter shouldn't be in there, but uh, they're good enough. These were the best versions of the books online I could find, um, especially like for small file size. 4 MB is really nothing for a book. Um, but yeah, I've got tons of these. Got and everything is like succession. So if you want, you can see number A, B, and then it's connecting also to dictionary. So if you wanted to switch over to your dictionary side, you could, and that would be all here. But yeah, we're going back to that. But yes, you can see some. I need to name these. These haven't been named. Operation Barbarossa, Hitler's invasion of Russia, 1941. So like I could do that. Operation. Hitler's invasion of Russia, 1941. Isn't that what it was? Something like this. Operation David M. Glance. And then instead of it being under the B book, we're going to put it under the O book because that makes way more sense, right? We're going to go back because I think it didn't unlink. Okay. O book. There we go. And then we could put like, David M. Or we'll see if David Glance is in here. Yeah, he's in here. I don't think he's attached really to much. Put him as an author, and I'll go through and mess with his stuff later. But there you go. That's how it kind of looks. You'll have the author above, you'll have where it's placed in the library. So this is really truly what this has turned into. I guess I've said everything I've said tonight to say this. This is the reason this is in the background. Um, this is a Baltimore library. What is it called? Let's see. We'll just find out real quick. I have it in here. It is the George. Yeah, there you go. George Peabody Library. This is what this is, and that's the actual photo I've used in the background here. I think I have another photo. Let's see what they have. Yeah, this is how it looks on another from another angle. It's a really cool library. I love it. I love the idea. This is basically turned into a library though. This whole thing. Uh, it's huge. I'm gonna sort thoughts by. There shouldn't be custom sorting. That's weird. That's doing some weird custom morning order. Let's see. We'll go by modified date. Okay, now I can switch it back. Something did happen. I don't know. It was like lagging. That's why I didn't want to clear the order because I'm like, I'm pretty sure there is a good order here that I need to keep. Um, so there we go. Yeah, this is it's a giant library. I mean, if I click on the T's, it would crash the thing, but it's like under the T section, I think it's like 20,000 books or maybe it's like 12,000 books. It's definitely over 10,000. Um, A, for instance, well, we'll hit on each one and see what it is. Actually, I had a number as of probably like 2 weeks ago. I gotta close back out when I do that. It's like does not want to load back up when I do this. So yeah, there you go. As of May 25th, 2026, this is the number I had in here. So originally I had this was a section. This was so slow because I had all these books under here. I had 31,128 unsorted books, which they're still kind of unsorted as you saw. Um, but I decided to actually give them each their own little spot. But even at the time, you can kind of see proportionally the total. So I only had like little over 4,000 sorted books here, and which I have another 100,000. Well, I'll just show you. I downloaded it years ago under Mega Books from the Mega Upload when they were shutting down. Somebody put that together, and it's like 100 and something gigs of books, which I've got way more than that now. But they have 18,000 or so books. Uh, so that's what you can see. There's actually folders too with way more that go deep. Let me go back to it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But yeah, like there you go. There's 61 under that, which there's no other folders, but some of these have like other folders under. Yeah, they're like this is an example. There's only two under there, but anyway, some of these yeah go super deep. I've went through them and I'm like, man, there's like another 1,000 in this one, and but it would take a while to go through all that, so I'm not gonna do it. But you can see 31,128 books is what I had originally. I probably got closer to 34,000 or so now, as far as what would have been unsorted. So it's probably I would say closer to 39,000 or 40,000 books in here at this current time of recording. Um, but yeah, proportionally, T's have a lot, A's have a lot, but it's because I sort it because this is hopefully one day my computer and the software and everything will be able to keep up with what I've built. And uh, I like the idea of just being able to hit T and the word the isn't at the end, if that makes sense. Like you should just be able to type in the thing you're looking for, and you can also just not type the at the beginning, and then you'll be able to find what you're looking for. But I'll just show you an example of what I'm talking about here. Let me scroll. Here we go. Yeah, like these are all still technically alphabetical. The Harlem Renaissance. Well, and why do I think it's important? I don't know. The author chose to put the in the beginning. So, and there's certain instances I've noticed, especially in modern books, where the matters at the beginning of the book, and to put it at the end is like almost disrespectful, I would say. Um, and so I just like to do it as intended. Everything in my brain I try to do as pure as possible, as intended by the author, by the creator, artist, whoever. I do attribute everything to the person who made it. I try to buy the things that get added. Obviously, I haven't bought this many books, but I've bought thousands and thousands of books, and we own probably 1,000 physical books, and then I don't know, probably well over 1,000, maybe 5,000 Kindle books, the Hebrew Bible manus, and I buy them because I can't find copies online. And when I can't find a copy, I don't share it. I don't go post the copy on these websites that let you download them because that is illegal. I just keep it for myself because that is not illegal. It's not illegal to mess with DRM on anything, especially if but I will do it. I will mess with all DRM if people want to lock things out. If I've paid for it, I'm gonna get control of the things I own. And because I want to put everything in a searchable index like this for myself and my own research, that's why I do it. But you can see the history of Korea. There's some really cool, like I would consider this could be, I would say, a quality assured book in that one right there. Um, let's just see if there's a better cover, but I don't think there would be. I think that's like the cover. No, there is a better, slightly better cover, I'd say. I don't know if that's better, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one a quality assured book just because of what it looks like. The name is already set up. I've, done that at some point in the past. You can click on this stuff, it looks like. So those are, I would say, quality assured. Yeah. And that's the way I'm labeling those whenever I put them that way. It's not about whether the book is all true or false, although everything in here is curated by me. I've chosen everything specifically because I'm like, I trust these authors, or I trust this publishing company, or I trust, and maybe I don't trust them, maybe they are propaganda, and a lot of them are, but I trust that other people trust them, if that makes sense too. So that, because that matters as well, which is why I use Wikipedia as even a source at all, because it's, well, it's accepted as, we'll say basic evergreen information on a lot of instances. People use it, and Google uses it, ChatGPT uses it. They're all using it. And so that has to be your sounding board, or the thing that you're bouncing because again, this was originally a conspiracy mind map. You would have to bounce your conspiracy off of what the mainstream is saying, and what's better mainstream than Wikipedia, generally speaking. At this point, 20 years after their creation, that is, I would say they kind of create the zeitgeist, or they're at least showing what they want the zeitgeist to be. Um, but yeah, so you can see it takes a while to scroll through these, but this is all going to be organized. I mean, everything's going to have a spot. It's all going to have authors. None of that's really going to matter. The sacred Enneagram, that'll be attached to any, books on Enneagrams. So I'll go books on Enneagrams, and I'm going to put Enneagram, and then we're going to type the plural. Actually, I'll just go. Uh, what? Okay. I thought I have another section here. I'm gonna go to e-dictionary. Okay, it's gonna make me type it. Similar situation with this, uh, although it is literally not finding it. That's super frustrating. I'm gonna delete that. We'll go here. The one good thing is I've set it up to where even if I can't, with all the little issues this thing has, I've set it up to where I can still connect everything. So there we go. We'll do this here, unlink that, and then we're gonna put books on Enneagrams here. And we're gonna unlink that. Then we're gonna type Enneagram because I saw a ton. The Enneagram applications. I have a lot. I did not realize. But see, again, this is years of finding books. I did not realize I had all these stuff. That's cool. Um, How many of these do I have? Okay, well, it's almost to the bottom now. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. They might have crashed it. I might have crashed it. It's what it's doing is it's going through the registry, grabbing all of those PDFs, and then also making file connections. Let's see. I don't know. I can't tell if it's going to load. There it goes. So yeah, you can tell the computer is loading. It's sometimes you can tell that, but it is hard to tell sometimes. Um, there you go though. So like anything Enneagram wise, if someone ever typed an Enneagram and they're like books on Enneagrams, and actually I need to tag that in there. There we go. Um, so yeah, or if you typed in Enneagrams, you'd see it off the side, books on Enneagrams, and then we'll say book categories. So now if you're like, I want to go look up some type of book categories, and then so you'll have a spot and you maybe one day you're scrolling through and you see that, and then you'll be like, what's an Enneagram? And then now you know, because you'll have a ton of books on it. And that's kind of what I've been doing. It's going to take a long time. Like brain teaser books, Star Wars books. These are things I've been doing for my kids. Religious books, Jewish mafia, books on the alphabet, books on the Huguenots, on the Magna Carta, the Gospels, the Green family, psychology, Jewish history, serial killers, the moon, Old Testament, New Testament, Scotland. Yeah, I've got just a bunch of random things, but eventually they'll, and I have book types you can see, anatomy books, which that would really be like book categories, um, book types. I do going to leave anti-Semitic books because that'd be like a label. Anything labeled as it would be like a type of a book. You're like, well, that's that type of book is an anti-Semitic book, and that would be the best way to explain it. CIA books, I would say that is also book categories, but also kind of a type. Mm, well, Adam, I'm gonna leave it under both for now, because I would say anything used by them, maybe that would be considered a type of, it's one of those CIA books. Shabbat Lubavitch books. That's kind of, yeah, similar as to like how the CIA thing is. It's if it's organizational, I can kind of accept it. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how it looks. That's what I'm doing. Bunch of stuff, like I said, Enneagram, 61 pages. That ain't nothing. There's probably something in here that's a lot bigger. 97. That's not crazy. 217. And you can instantly get into here. You can also set it up to where it opens inside of here. I just don't like it as much, but I'll show you how it looks. How do you do it? Content. I think it's content. You can actually see my stats here. I think I should have let it go. Oh, it is just really struggling right now. I think it's still updating this stuff here. I can kind of hear when it's doing certain things because it'll slow back down. I really don't want to exit all the way out like that, but I'm going to. I think I kind of crashed it. You have to be real easy with it because I mean I have a real nice computer. I built it. It's a 13900K uh, processor. I've got 64 gigs of RAM in here right now. I used to have 128, but it was crashing that because of this because it's not super compatible. 128 is so hard to run on a lot of things, but there are new motherboards. I'm getting a new processor soon. Um, should start speeding up things, maybe 30 to 40% faster in some areas from what I'm reading, especially in this. But as time goes on, hardware will keep improving, and hopefully this gets better and better and faster, and I won't notice the little issues I have with it. That's what I'm hoping, you know. And because people with smaller brains that work from this software that this company produces, they're, and I say brain, this matrix of things, they have their own little matrix of stuff. Theirs run a lot faster, but I have the biggest one in the world. And I guess I should have mentioned that this is the biggest uh, brain mind map in the world. Um, and that's something It's I don't know. Took a lot of work. I've been, trying to even do little stuff like that, but I'm barely scratching the surface, as you can tell. And that's the problem. It's going to be a long thing. I might have to take help from more people. I'm teaching my kids how to do it all. My wife knows how to do this stuff just because I've asked her to learn little things and she's learned more and more as she's gone on. We've been doing this probably, I want to say, almost 4 years building on this software. But I had another mind map right before it, so I don't know. Mind mapping is probably like a little over 5 years. But this was the best version I've ever found. And it's the best version I can find. Um, which much respect to the people at the Brain. They've put out a good product, and I like it. I like to think I'm an intelligent guy. I need to delete this. This is I see that every so often. There's a blank thing that isn't in an actual book, but that's because in version 15, if it has a semicolon, when you drag it into here, it creates two thoughts. And a lot of times on those websites where you'll download a book, it'll have a semicolon in there to separate the authors and the editors, which is why I originally started doing it. I like that method. Um, but this started splitting into two. Version 14 doesn't do that. So most of these don't have that problem, but every now and then you'll see something in here that was like the author and then a long ISBN number or like their publisher and the year and stuff like that. You get it quite often. Yeah, I have like books on Richard the First, Richard the Second, all the kings. Basically any type of book you could think of, I have. I'm still, oh yeah, book series. I really like looking at the book series section. It's one of my, I don't know. I'm a collector, obviously, so I've got cool little book things like when I was a kid, I loved this Magic Kingdom of Landover series. I don't know if anyone's ever read it, but I've got the old book in here. I've got you can click through here. It's a 381 page book, which was a lot for a kid. I was like 8 years old, I think, when I read this. I loved it so much. I really want to read these other part of the series. I only read that first one when I was young. You know, I don't know if I said I read the series earlier, but I meant to say I read the first one. Um, but yeah, I have like modern history, Eric Hobsbawm. There we go. Um, these should be in order: 1848, 1875. That's the only thing I'm not liking. There we go. There, yeah, Age of Revolution will be first, and I already have it as a succession. You can see the arrow pointing down, and eventually I could probably take this out of the that I used to do this because on version 14 you can't type in here to find what you're looking for and the link type, but now you can, and so it is a little easier. But I still like it because it's at the top, and when you click, sometimes like author's right there if I need to click on author, sibling, spouse. If I scroll down, I need to probably make these all A now, but because I used to do B sibling, B spouse, because it would put it right in the center where it was, but this has grown longer now. I probably will just do that right now so you can see. So let's go to, oh, that's not what I was trying to do. How do I do it? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to first show the statistics from earlier because I haven't gotten to do that. It's a big update for me. Oh, forgotten thoughts. I need to go through and clean those up. I have almost matched, finally, after almost a year when I added those people in. I've almost caught back up to a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm just 5 or 6 thousand thoughts short. That's probably like 2 weeks of work or a week, maybe less than that, a week of work. If I'm like just typing things in, not dropping links and stuff. If it's dropping links of things, it'll be even faster. But um, thought types, there's 998 thought types, which those were those circular things that when you type up here, like I was mentioning, it'll find it faster. Link types, I've got 244. That's this thing here. That's a link type. Um, tags, that is the thing like here, he's British, deceased, and a male. There's a note tag there. So there's 199 of those types of tags. Out of my 2.23 million thoughts, 16,000 of them have notes on the side, typed in notes. 77,585 have internal files, which would be considered an internal file. So this has one internal file that's um, PDFs, songs, little things like that. But I also have stuff linked to my outside, which I've been working on, putting all these in here and connecting them. because I have tons and tons of stuff. But right now, a lot of them is just I connected like the top folders and to of like the giant databases I have in here, which there's a bunch. 84,000 web links. That's when you like drop a thing, pull it and drop it. Which that's actually not that much, but it is a lot for one guy. And I've been doing it very slowly and diligently. So you imagine me doing what I did tonight 84,000 times. It's a long time, a lot of work. Assigned icons, 3,146. I've got a lot more technically icons in this, but these are ones I right clicked on and you hit assign. That's considered an assign icon. The entire internal size of every bit of information inside of here that is not linked, not a folder on the outside, because obviously, like I showed you, I've got 72 terabytes capacity here. Most of it's all filled except for just add a terabyte. But there's only 660 gigs in here. It's not much. Icon file size out of those assigned icons, that's just over a gig. And I was going to share content settings, or where is it? Attachments? I cannot remember. I thought it was up here. We'll just go this. I thought that was where it was going to be. There it is. This is what I was looking for. User content area. We can go open, preview when possible, preview an embedded browser. And I'll close this. We'll go down, go back here, and it opens. You can actually double click on it. You can do this. I can make it bigger. So it opens in the program too if you choose to do it that way. I like to do it outside because there's sometimes I want to have my other thing over here. Um, and so like if I open it the other way, it's faster. But yeah, it does like that if you want to click it on and do it that way. But still, if you want to do it and just open it by clicking on it here, you can. Their PDF reader isn't as good as the PDF reader I have. This one's very nice. It's a lightweight PDF reader. You can split it into, side by side view. Um, and then again, that Wondershare, if I wanted to add that, this is also a decent PDF reader. I just don't like it's just not as lightweight. The other one is better. So I'm going to switch that back so I don't mess with it, get upset later that I can't find it or something. Although it wasn't that hard because I remembered basically what it was. We're closing. But yeah, modern history series. We'll look at a couple more book series. I'll probably call it a night. I woke up in the middle of the night and I've decided to make a video on this. I haven't made a video on this in years where I'm talking about it. But this is kind of my baby. There's the Talmud. I've got every single copy of the Noah edition of the Koran Talmud Bavli. And, you know, like, again, I could probably put these as quality assured books, but I want to actually fix it so you can have the links because I don't think there's any clickable links here. Yeah. So I wouldn't consider this quality assured. But as far as the copy of this, yes. And this is all indexable too. See, like, yeah. And typing in here also types and searches inside of these PDFs. So if I'm looking for something specifically, I will find it. And there's a lot. I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, just doing one thing at a time. It's like that whole idea. What is it? The fastest way to eat elephants, just a bite at a time, or whatever. That's kind of how I've taken this. Just very, very slowly. Talk to me in Korean. I've got all the little. I like speaking the Korean language and learning it. These are cool books. I've got a bunch of language books, but this is under the series that I've done. There's tons of series. I probably have thousands of series, but I haven't categorized and labeled them all, even though they are in here technically, if that makes sense. That's kind of what's going on. Um, Uncle John's bathroom reader, which these I just found those the other day. Wheel of Time series, which I could I'll link them so you can actually see they're here. I just haven't. And again, this was one I had already made a category for, but I hadn't even linked the books. And there's tons I haven't made any categories for, and I haven't linked those books. So there you go. There's all your Uncle John's books. We'll go ahead and add them. Um, and I'll fix all the names on them and stuff later. But you can kind of get they're like little funny kids books. You're supposed to have read them on the toilet. Um, but they're little fun, interesting books for kids. I think they could read. The World Book Encyclopedia. This is one I grew up on. When I was a kid. I used to read these when I was a child. Not this version. I read the 1970 version, which was like a yellow. Anyway, doesn't matter. I used to read it though. It was I think it helped me become somewhat intelligent. Uh, and I don't mean just read it. Like I would go front to back, book to book as a kid, because we were poor and I didn't have much to do, and I read a lot of books, which is why I value the library and books. There's You Choose books. I'm trying to find some other. I found some other cool ones the other day that I thought people would like. Full Dark series, Streamline English. Let's get Biblical Judaism, Holocaust handbooks, For Dummies series. These are cool. There's a lot of For Dummies books. I've got, basically every For Dummies book you could imagine. There's probably 700. I don't know, something. A lot. Barely scrolling through here. I've actually, it ends, you can tell it was going in order and it doesn't actually go it looks like I need to connect everything after the E and F area of the For Dummies, but it's fine. I'll do that later. Hank the Cowdog. That was one of the first book series I ever read. Core Knowledge series. What your preschooler needs to know, what your kindergartner needs to know. It goes in order and it connects to kindergartner. So eventually everything will have a little category: first grader, second grader, and then also connects there, and you can go third grader, fourth grader, fifth, and it connects back over to the book section. It's kind of cool. Um, it's a lot of thought. I've tried to put thought into everything that goes in here and how it connects to everything else. And obviously, I miss things, and I'll miss connections, and I'll miss ways that things connect. And um, but over time, because I'm doing it and because I'm compiling anything and connecting anything, you learn from your old compilations and your old own connections um, that you've created and made and whatever. So let's see, 101 series, all about history. These are cool. These ones are cool. Yeah, like these huge books that are literally, illustrated. I got tons of them. And like I said, I go through and I select them, and I end up buying all of these, and um, but I do want the PDF version because I want it to be indexable, and that's why I think they started doing all this DRM. They didn't want people to be able to put something together like I've put together, and I'll never give it up. I've made tons of copies now. If something ever happens to me or I'll release it. It's already set. Um, and that's what's gonna like eventually I want to share this with everyone. I want everyone to have this. That's the goal with no paywalls, no nothing. This is like, your Star Trek thing. I always picture that like in Star Trek they could pull up their little device and it knew everything. That's what I want this to be. And not in the way that like ChatGPT and all those are, but like if you want to dig in it and research in it, you can do that. And it's not like, full of nails like it feels like it currently is. And I'm sure AI is going to get better. But this is also a data set. So, I mean, I could train AI on this. There's somebody who's going to help me do all of that. And they've all trained their own AI, on this exact type of data set. They just got sued over it. And because they made a ton of money, it's okay morally or whatever. But no, I'm not going to accept it. I'll just take my licks as it goes. I'm not going to distribute any of this. This is my own personal research. That's how I keep within the bounds of the law. It's still legal as of right now to download things that were put out online by people. I just don't, you can't be the uploader or distributor. So that's what I choose not to do. I've tried to stay all within the law. Um, and yeah, like I wanted to show this last thing too, these cool maps. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because there's like compilers and composite image things and as of right now, all this stuff is legal, and I want to preserve it while it's legal because we're in a digital gold rush. These old maps. So this is a 339 megabyte map. If I pull it open, which I love looking at these. So if you saw this on Wikipedia, you probably would pay no attention to it because you're like, I'm not gonna be able to read it anyway. It's gonna be bad quality because most of these are when you see them, but mine are not. You can go all the way in, and if you know Spanish, you can read this. In l'absence de Christopher Columbus. That's what it says there. Anyway, uh, California, it's got that weird old map where they thought California was a little bit more misshapen than it is. And this was even close to the time where they thought it was just an island as well, but that's not quite here. It's before a little bit. So yeah, you can see all the illustrations. I love these maps here. Dramatic wall map. This actually isn't that crazy. It's only 18 megabytes, but it is a classic map. It is important. It was scanned. They are preserving it, so I'm preserving it. America's map. Jean-Baptiste Louis Clouet. Is this the? That's the one I just looked at, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's. I was wondering why it was doing this weird thing. There is a. I need to add it. United States of America's map. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach these two because every time I type Americas, it's like I'm really looking for this one because I got tons of them here. There's a few of these that I really love. Um, and I don't even think this is technically the one I'm looking for. This section, I mean. Oh, it is this one. Oh no, that's the roadmap I just clicked on. Hmm. Is this uh, North America map? Man, that's what it is. These are connected. Yeah, 1695, 18. This isn't it either. So there's a few of these sections I need to get better at about this was done years ago too. Let's see what year is this? Originally, yeah, April 2nd, 2024. These maps, and it was even before then because I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure I did an update and everything got created again when I re-updated and retransferred everything into this. Yeah, I did like a weird thing that I didn't know what I was doing at that time, or I didn't know how it would affect everything, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Uh, there is a map that shows the old borders, and I cannot find it, of like Virginia, North Carolina. I'll find it though. So it's got to be in one of those three, it looks like. Um, well, I'll just check world maps just in case. That's like, yeah, just a SVG. It's got to be here, I think. Yes, this one. Oh, I love this one. It's 89 megabytes. It's actually not that big, but I just love seeing like, oh, that's how they looked. So I mean, like Texas, where I'm from, and actually where exactly? This is close. I'm right on the line of being considered South Carolina and Georgia, where we're at in Texas, but I can't tell how far up north. I mean, we're somewhere like here where I'm at. I don't see. There's Mentos. Where's a city that's like recognizable? Like New Orleans will be over here somewhere. Like, yeah, right here, right? But where is it? Eventually, as things, there's mobile. So eventually, as AI gets better, even this stuff will be able to get indexed. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not going to mess with it until then. I don't want to alter this. So I'm leaving. There's a lot of things I'm leaving. If I know technology hasn't caught up to it yet, I just leave it alone because I know it will. That's what I'm banking on. That's what I've been banking on for 25 years of collecting data. Literally 25 years of my life, or yeah, since Napster. Basically, I'm 36 years old. I started downloading music from Napster, and then I used Kazaa and LimeWire and yeah, all these other. I'm trying to remember all of them, but yeah. Um, which I do have categories of things in here. We'll say like download or well, torrent website, for instance. I've used these for years. And these are all my own saved ones. You can actually look at this too, the FMHY, which they have this website if you ever want FMHY. They have all this stuff, basically free things until the government shuts everything down. This is kind of like the last bastion of websites. Although I haven't taken any of their websites and added them in my list. These are all my own personal lists here that I know things are at least safe to download from. But yeah, I favorite all kinds of favorite torrenting, book download website, favorite YouTubes. I use Qubit usually, but that's all stuff I added a long time ago, and that was more of when it was closer to a personal brain, personal conspiracy mind map type of thing. Uh, but yeah, Oklahoma map. So I need to eventually add all the state maps, it looks like. But yeah, I think I'm getting fairly tired. It's been a while that I've been working on this. I was trying to do some work even before I started sharing it, and I was like, you know what, I'm working on it. I was working on my family ancestry stuff, and it was just actually even recent. It was that was only my grandparents, but I was working on them, and I was like, you know, if I'm going to spend the time, I need to talk about it and work on it at the same time. Which I've obviously this is why I don't talk about it often because you see I did very little as far as work goes. I'm clicking through and showing maps and stuff and giving you a tour rather than doing any real work right now. But it is fun. It's fun to like look back and then also you kind of I think neuroplasticity is created. I know it sounds weird. I think it's enhanced um, from using this program because I'll remember like, oh yeah, I put that here, and then I'm like, it's oh yeah, it's America's map. Oh yeah, and then I'll remember Jalot Wall map of America or whatever, and you know all these different names of artists and Jean-Baptiste Louis Coué. I looked him up before, and I could probably put him in here. I wonder if I have him in here already. I think I did. Let's just see. That'll be the last thing I do here. We'll go four names, cartographers. Four names is important. Usually you see it with royalty. You see it with some Catholic, some Jewish people. The mid-date Clue, who are the royal geographer. Ooh. And then also said painter, draftsman, and a miniaturist. Okay, I do not think I have this. I have the non-plural version. I need to attach that to miniature because I know I didn't do that. Interesting. All right. And then male, Jean Clouet. Clouet. Hmm. I would have assumed he was French. Gallemore. So that's how we'll do. Okay, from the Burgundian Netherlands. So yeah, that makes sense. Burgundy. He was court painter to French King Francis the First. See if I have him in here. There's a king and an emperor. Are these the same guys here? Okay, I didn't think so. So we're gonna take that off. I'm gonna make sure and just verify this is French King, King Francis, yes. And we'll say, yeah, that's the succession line. I just want to get that correct before I do this. And we're gonna put like boss for now, or I don't know, what can I put? Like that would be the boss of this guy, even though I mean he's technically the boss of everyone. He's his painter, so that's why I'm doing that. And eventually I'll have a paint tag here. I probably could do it tonight, but I'm not going to do it. Oh, he's a portraitist too. There's another. Let's see if I have that word. I do have the word. I knew I didn't have the plural. There we go. We'll tie that to portrait. Okay. And then portraitist, miniaturitist, miniaturist. There we go. Hmm. Portrait miniature. Okay, that's what I'll do. And I'm going to tie it to that too, actually, because the word. Um, and then we were going to go portrait off of that. Replace, move it there, and we'll put this here. That makes you feel better. And then I wanted to look at portraitist. Portraitist. Port. Yeah. Okay. It just sounds weird. My brain. I think I'm just tired. It's 5:42, as you can see. Replace. I think that's good. Um, Seems weird. Okay, that seems fine. And then we got to see if there's a picture of this guy anywhere. So we'll say French. They're calling him French here, French people. Even though it says Burgundian Netherlands is where he's from, technically. It's kind of weird, but I'm assuming because he was speaking French and not Dutch, which, they're pretty close anyway. Um, is that him? Okay. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna put this here too. Um, See, I hate when people do this. What is this called? So this thing, dezoomify. See if this works. Hmm. Can't find it. Let's see if Google can find this. Can I open it in a web page again? Let's see. I'll delete this. Is there seriously not a photo here? So weird. I'm actually gonna save this too. Soft V's. I think I already have it, but projects. There we go. I'll save it there. I'm gonna click on this. Can I open this from here? So what I'll do then, just gonna make my own. It's a little cheap to do it that way, but I want a picture. We'll go screenshots. Make sure I got the edges right here. That's good enough. Perfect. Now we have a little picture for him. No one else has a picture of him for some reason, besides these people who are selling it for a lot of money. Um, and of course, it's not the obviously good digital or the print that they would send. It's a they're offering public, photo online for us to see and to view like this. So I'm gonna save the thing that they offered publicly. Which again, this isn't the full view because it won't even let you can't zoom in on that. Um, but I can on him here, which helps. So I don't know. I have little issues with the way things are set up right now in the world as far as data. Everything's being put behind paywalls. I'm gonna copy this too because I just realized I didn't have it. I also don't have a good picture of him. There we go. And he is listed under like a king. He's got a little crown. So if I click kings, I've got all the king, not all. I actually have way more kings than this, but the ones I've categorized and put in here. You can see, like, yeah, the Korean Joseon dynasty, Tajo, Tajong. It's actually Taejo, Taejong, Sejong, Hunmin Jong, Hunmin Jong-un. I could read it better if, oh, there it is. Hunmin Jong-un. Yeah, that's exactly it. The Korean right there. Uh, this I can read that a lot easier than the romanization of what this is supposed to say. Uh, I've been doing that a lot though, like Canada, but this would be that's how you ga na da. That's the a sound going that little line that goes to the arrow. Yeah, there it is again. Cha mo. Uh, Hangul strike. Let's see what else we got in here. I've got a lot of the Korean. Ooh, it's lagging in this area. Writing systems. I think it's because this is all my alphabets. There's a lot of dictionaries and alphabets just like one click away from all of this. So I think when you're one click away, it's like trying to preload what's nearby. Um, but yeah, I have little Korean workbooks and I have a lot of, Korean language books. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Test of proficiency. So what I should do, put this there. Hmm, Why is it? Okay. Trying to find that. Thought I'd clicked it already. So yeah, there's just some of the ones I have right now, but just there's a lot more than this. I could type in like Korean. That's one of the things I probably have the most of. Korean for Dummies, Central Korean Phrase Book, Korean Aesop's Fables, Formless, um, Visual Dictionary. Oh, what am I doing? War Book, Reconstructing. That's ancient Korean history. So I really need to do one like on that too. Yeah. Diaspora and post-war Korean folk tales. There's another slang. Talk to me in Korean. Many Korean favorites. Okay, I'm just gonna click through those. Yeah, I've got a lot of these. I think that's okay. Authentic Korean basic. There's so many, so many. Some of these were already attached too, but I just need to do this. Korean art, Korean cookbook, 0. Starting to get too much. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. We'll see if I can type Korean again and go down to that same area. Hopefully these don't. Yeah, I like that. We already had that one, so I'm pretty sure it's just redoing most of it. So I'm just gonna go scroll to the bottom. Those are the Aogi ones. Take out, we're close to where we were. Going from 0, yeah, this is where we were. Okay. Upper intermediate. Korean slang. Okay, I'll take that one out later. K is for Korean, I gotta remember that. So many. Okay, Korean grammar. Okay, we'll go to that. Then we'll go to take the K off. K is for Korean. Where is that? There we go. Remove that, and we'll go back to where I was. I'm going to add all the rest of these. I'm going to call it a night after this. It's almost done. Just so you can see kind of how it works. And this is what eventually I'll do with everything. It's taking forever. Waterson, we're close. Fluent. There we go. Yeah. Form and freedom in Korean poetry. Leave that alone. Okay. Korean War. There we go. That is it. So basically, I would say, yeah, that's all the books. We'll see how many. 75 Korean language books. That's pretty good. You can kind of see real quick what they are. There'll be stuff like that. How to talk to people without being rude. You know, there's all the Korean from zero books, which I love these. I bought all these. Um, there's also the what is it, Billy Go. I have his. I bought his stuff. Man, that was like 2012. So I got shipped off to Korea, and well, I found out in 2012. I got there on March 1st, 2013, and I lived there for 3.5 years. So right before I got there, I started getting all that stuff, and he was one of the main guys I was looking at, as well as the yeah. If I go Korean language, yeah, learn to read Korean in 15 minutes. This is the thing I used. If you guys ever want to learn to speak it, start with something like this. It worked really well. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. So Yeah, Petamen. That tells you kind of how to, you know, Mario, Dodoromo. What is that? Totoromo? Who is that? Is that, it's like the D, but it's also the T. Anyway, I don't know who this one would be. Hey, I'm just miss Pitman. Oh, this is probably who that is. I don't, just because I don't know the character, and I see the rest. Yeah, Nemo, Heidi, Pota, yeah, Meromo, Melomo. Is that him? I'm assuming. Mickey. So right there, Colum, Colum, Colum. Yeah. I want to say this one again. Wait, Elmo, Elmo, Harry Potter. That's how they would say it. Harry Potter. Uh, anyway, it's cool. It's this thing. I would suggest anyone who wants to learn to create their own brain. Go through this, watch what I'm doing, take some inspiration from me. There's some other guys out there who do a pretty good job of creating their brains, and find out better ways to do what I'm doing. There may be way more efficient ways, uh, and maybe you can create something for research, something that you can pass to your kids. It's like an heirloom, which that's what eventually I want to do. This will be for them. Stuff like this, like actually need to put culture in here. That's the old format that I have. This is the new way. I like this one better. It's just more words. It's from straight from Wikipedia too. But yeah, culture, like that should be under cultures, Gaelic culture, certain things like that I gotta do. But there's tons of cultures. Just as I go, I'll just keep, organizing things and sorting things. Bangladeshi culture, American culture. Anyway, I had fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching this and get something from it. There's my homepage, Earth. So when I click it, that's where it takes me. Um, oh, and one more thing. One more thing. Something I've been working on that I think is cool. I've been doing all these mythological figures, Roman, Greek, Egyptian. I took originally, um, actually, I'm going to go ahead and put Egyptian mythology here, just because they kind of all do go hand in hand. We'll go ahead and tie them together. So I took the original ideas from those Wikipedia. This is so like, Shu the Egyptian god. That's where you could get that. And I was like, these are cool. I like them a lot. I started making the family trees out of them, Set, and which Set I think is actually my creation. Is that my? Yeah, because there's the old Set. This is the old one, and I say my creation. It's AI creation. I told it what to do and how it needs to, make it. Um, I want to have, all the little parts he has, and so I do that with everything. Everything gets added exactly. There's like Osiris there. Here's the old Osiris. So you can kind of see them next to each other, what I've been doing. I'm trying to create updated versions of the things we're looking at to understand more what they look like or what they're supposed to look like. And you can see, he has chains or whatever, a lock on it, but I like it. It's got, it's keeping the same art and the same meaning of what these things are. Um, but if I go back to, yeah, Egyptian gods, Egyptian god mythology, Greek mythology, these are my favorite ones so far because I've been really working on these ones a lot lately. Uh, and they're not all perfectly the same art style, but I've tried to keep them similar. So like, Dionysus Eleutherius. So that's what he would have looked like. It's the purple and the grapes and the either the pine cone or the nardos plant at the top. If you have ever seen either, they're tied together very similarly. But that right there, it's pretty cool. It's got his little panther. Um, Bacchus, you can kind of see Bacchus is equivalent to Liber Pater. How did I get here just now? I thought, yeah, descendant. So I really need to put Bacchus below. I don't know why it was off to the side, but so Bacchus, well, we would say is a descendant, um, but not parent-child. We would say like descendant because it changed, and they're not obviously real figures. But Bacchus was from what was Dionysus Eleutherius, and Jupiter. You can see the purple matters. There's Liber Pater, very similar. That's the Roman equivalent of Dionysus Eleutherius, which Dionysus Eleutherius came first, and that would have been he came from just uh, Dionysus. Do I have it just normal Dionysus in here? I mean, it is just Dionysus, but this is his whole name, so I guess this is fine. I should probably just put Dionysus in here and not Bacchus because that's ridiculous. I already have a Bacchus over here. Bacchus can get his own area. But anyway, this is what happens all the time. I've been trying to do the whole Texas goodbye. This is the goodbye now, though. I'm going to finish it right there. 6:02 in the morning. I went for a couple hours. We'll see. Yeah, 2 hours and 11 minutes. Appreciate you. Hope everyone has a good time watching this. And one last thing, because I'm noticing it as I'm talking. There we go. All right, bye.